Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about something interesting today that I heard in an interview with James Altucher on a buddy of mine's podcast, and that's you shouldn't go to college. So part of the article and that what they were talking about in the interview basically was that college is kind of a losing gamble, and increasingly it's going to basically be phased out completely. We might be one of the last few generations here that actually goes to college. So I can kind of hear you immediately being like, Brendan, that's total BS. Everybody says college is a good investment. Well, that's actually completely true. I can't argue with that because economics consistently shows that college is the best investment you can possibly make, that people increase over their entire lives as much as $1 million just from getting a college degree. So you definitely don't want to discount that fact. However, and more to the point, the things that James Altucher was mentioning is that a lot of the reasons that people are going to college are bad reasons. That is that if we took a step back and analyzed why we were going, we might realize either it's one, just to fulfill kind of something that our parents say and society says, two, it's because we're trying to get skills and things like this, or three, we're trying to gain a network and use that network later in our careers. So just to further explain the first point, recently I was doing needing some design done for a website that I'm launching soon, and I was having a lot of trouble and have been having a lot of trouble getting a graphic designer. I've been dropping a lot of money left and right on different people to try and get these things made that I wanted made. And I kind of learned something, which is that I finally got fed up, and I went to lynda.com, which is awesome, by the way, and I paid $25 and got a subscription, and within 4 hours learned how to use Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. Not like a total professional, but probably about 85 to 90% of the way there. Got it done, got everything I needed done. So here's the thing. A lot of people I know are graphic designers, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure they have a lot of really amazing and awesome skills, but at the same time, they probably paid tens of thousands of dollars to learn those skills. Something that I did for $25 in 4 hours, basically one evening last week. Now, I am not in the same league as them, but how much more of that effort is going to take for me to be in that league with them? And also, how much less money did I spend on that? Whereas in the past, we used to have to go to this building where somebody would read from a book because books weren't very prevalent, and it was really difficult to get information. Now, you can kind of get information everywhere. So what's the point in chilling out in a room full of people and spending thousands and thousands of dollars to do it? Wait, Brendan, I can hear you saying, what about doctors? That's a good question. What about them? Well, here's the opinion there. If you really want to be a doctor, and you know you want to be a doctor, go be a doctor. Go to school for being a doctor, and go be a doctor. But for nearly anything else, don't go to school. Go find the information you want to know and get it done a lot faster and for a lot less money. What about lawyers and things like this? There we go. The conversation that I heard in question over a podcast interview with James Altucher was with a lawyer. And one of the things that he said, which was pretty fascinating, is he was like, I probably could have gotten a much better introduction to being a lawyer if I had a paralegal education or something like this. I was wondering one time if I wanted to be a landscape architect, so I went to a landscape architect firm and asked if I could work for them and intern with them. It only took a handful of amount of time for me to realize that I did not want to do that. And here's the thing, there's probably thousands and thousands, if not millions of people who are in college right now for things they think they want, and they've never tested it. Never. You never touch the pump handle with your bare hand. Hey, Brendan, why are you out here getting gas at the pump? And the answer to that question is this. Some years ago, this was a career and this was an entire profession that somebody could have, as being a service agent at a gas station, like a pump attendant. Somebody washes your windshield and all this kind of thing. But this has been completely phased out. So that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, there are all kinds of jobs that are being phased out all the time. You got 4 years, or maybe 5, in school. By the time you get out, the job that you were training for is far past where it had been. And information is moving so quickly these days that you can't waste time. All the people who are teaching you the theory of what you're trying to learn have been out of the field already. And by the time that you get in it, things have moved on. Far better to just get right into it. So, what's the institution of higher learning going to be in the next few decades or years? I have no idea. But I do know that the The idea of getting a ton of college debt and taking the rest of your life to pay it off for a job that may or may not even be there or have any loyalty for you reeks of all kinds of loss of power and uninspiration, if that's even a word. So, I don't know what to do, but I'd love to hear your comments on this video. Please check it out below. Leave a comment. Meanwhile, the madness continues.